I think that future leaders includes two things. It's not leaders only, and it's not future only. It's leaders that see the future. So there is something you have to communicate in your eyes, and it's hard to do it, but your eyes should shine. Your eyes should communicate that your eyes are looking at the future, that are wide open, looking at the future, not just calm eyes that are in the present. You really need to, and that's something you can plan. You can just, and it's part of what I say, it's something that you have to work on yourself, and I'm happy to hear you are going to have a session on that. I hope you will work on your wide open eyes too, because that's something I really communicate future. Hands, the way you use your hands, it also talks about the future. It talks about the timeline. If I'm saying, I want you to develop your vision about the future, your vision, how you see that future, how you see that future being different than what it is today. I exaggerate now the movements, just to understand. It's different than what it is today. Because today is like this, but I see it like that. I see it different. I see it different. You see my eyes and my hands? This is about future. Now, when we talk about leadership, it's something I'm sure you are going to work on the body language exercise, but it's about your standing. It's about how you stand with confidence, with a stable body, that you can, people will look at you as somebody that if they have to rely on you, they will. They will be next to you because you know, you can feel that they can fall on you, that they can be next to you, that you won't fall if you are next to them. That's something that you can communicate through your body language. And that's the short answer because you're going to have a full session. Any other question at this stage? If not, then I move on. So when we talk about, as I said before, the cycle ends where it begins, where we talk about certain specific presentation or speech. We listen to the feedback. It's very important that you listen to the feedback from the people, and sometimes listening is not just asking, did you like my presentation? Oh yes, for sure, like, no. Or you send a note, which is good, you know, you have to send, and I know at the end of the program you will have such a thing, evaluation form, feedback, blah, blah. It's not just that, it's just really listening in the sense of using your eyes, ears, to listening to the reaction of the people, where people are listening, where people are asking questions, where they're really attentive. This means listening. Listening, it's a broader concept. It's understanding what's going on and being attentive to that. I know it's not easy because I'm speaking and at the same time I have to be listening to your reactions all the time. But that's the kind of skill you need to master in order to be, to excel as a public speaker. After you listen to the feedback, you have to think it over. You have to think again. You have to think, if I have to do this, session, this presentation again, what I would do different. And sometimes there is a confusion between being confident and avoiding thinking it over. Because confidence is not based on thinking that we are always right. Confidence is exactly the opposite. It's about understanding that even if we make mistakes, we have an extraordinary ability to learn from the mistakes we make. And we are still who we are, even if we didn't do great. I'm a great speaker, and some of my speeches, sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they don't work, and I learn from them. Sometimes I don't succeed. Maybe I didn't read clearly the audience I had. Maybe I didn't understand their needs. Maybe that day my mind was somewhere else. You know, it happens. And I have to learn where did I fail then. And I'm still the same confident person I was before. Confidence is based not in being always right, but understanding we many times are wrong, and we have to learn about that. After we think it over, we make a new speech and listen again and again. So as I said, the cycle ends where it begins. An effective speech, and there was a question before about what's effectiveness. An effective speech, a speech or a presentation that brings us to achieve the goals we set for that presentation. An effective speech is one that meets in the middle, or brings together in the middle, the expectations and needs of the audience the goals that the speaker sets for the speech, what the market needs, what the people need, not just the audience, and what are the organizational goals. It's a meeting of expectations and needs. And when that meeting happens, then the speech is successful. And when that doesn't happen, it just doesn't happen, even if the presentation is great. You know, if I go back to the example of the hospital, and if I would be sitting with an audience that doesn't have the means to support the hospital, and I didn't know, these were people that are interested in listening to hospital issues, and I thought these people are wealthy people that could be donors. And I'm making a whole presentation, as I said before, with a story, with everything, with my passion, and I'm expecting at the end of the day to say, oh yes, where do we leave the checks? And at the end, these people, they don't have even a checkbook or a credit card, and they are just pensioners living on a minimum pension. Then it's just, there is no meeting between their possibilities and needs and what I wanted to do. Yes? Just tell your name, because I didn't ask you. Maria. Yes.
To meet you. And I just want to ask if we can replace market with community in this
Yes.
presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Because market is a little bit
Yes, market, community. Yes, absolutely.
Economy speeches sometimes.
Absolutely. When I say market, I refer to the group of people who are the target of our yes, yes, exactly. Any other?
The short description in the business, but that one that I know for effectiveness, it says that to be effective is to succeed the client needs.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly about the effectiveness that we're talking about. So I think that we do it in these four squares over here. So to
Yes.
succeed the client needs.
Is to succeed the client needs, but I will rephrase that. Is to succeed in meeting the client's needs with your own goals. Because let's say in business it will be the goal of a business company is to generate value and profit. Yes? That's in business.
But that's effective and efficiency.
Yes, that's the difference thing. Efficiency is different. It's how you get there.
That's the profit.
Yes,
Efficiency.
but the effectiveness in that case will happen if you meet the client's needs and expectations. What we are talking here about is a broader understanding that says you have goals. Don't forget, we are not talking here only about business. We are talking about business. We are talking about politics. We are talking about social. Talking about all kind of community. Yes, we are talking about many different frameworks where we are doing that. Now, I'm going now into just opening the window. Follow my screen now here. I open just the window of effective communications through social networks for a second, for 2 minutes. We are going to be working on that in the afternoon, but I wanted in this first part of the day to talk about that for a minute. Effective communications through social network is different. And we're going to get there in the afternoon. Just wanted to insert this for a second just to open our minds. It's different from what we just did for many different reasons. There is a very common thing that is based on setting your goals when you want to communicate through social networks. You have to set your goals and why do you want to communicate through social networks. We'll get there later. You have to define your tools. You have to define which tools, which kind of social networks you are going to use and how. And again, not improvising, but planning. And that's what the kind of knowledge I want to share with you later in the day. And the third thing which makes it very different from speaking in front of an audience, when you have a very clear planning of what you say, as we were learning till now, when you use social networks, you just walk the talk. You just do talking. Not necessarily in an organized way,